Hello children, welcome to today's class. Children, today I am going to teach you all a very important mantra in your life. Children, we are all striving hard to achieve success. And now, to climb up the stairs to reach the success, first we should have to develop trust in ourselves. We should be confident. The second most important thing which we should have is we should have the strength to bear the risks in life. It's very important, as risks acts a very important role in deciding the scale of your success. We become a leader when we take a risk. When we succeed in taking the risk, people start following us as a leader. But children, I feel when we fail, we are also a leader. Then how? As our improvement in developing the shortcomings are the inspirations for many. So never to be afraid to take a risk. We have to open our wings, have full trust in ourselves, and dive in the world to achieve success. Since our birth, unknowingly, we are tasting the flavor of risk. Like children, when a child first starts walking, he or she has all the possibilities to fall down and get hurt. But do we stop them? No. Then why to fear at this stage of life when we are very near to touch our aim? We have to count both the positive and negative ends of taking a risk, which we call a calculative risk, and step out in the world with confidence to touch the dreams of our life. Children, today's chapter, His First Flight by Liam O'Flaherty, has showcased such a theme. I'm definite you would learn a good moral and enjoy this short story. The young seagull in the story was afraid to fly because he thought he was weak and his wings won't support him. So children, come with me. Let us start the chapter with the introduction. The story by Liam O'Flaherty is an account of a young bird that is afraid to fly for the first time. You have seen the nestlings sitting on the branches? Yes, and we'll see the mother bird. They are encouraging the nestlings to fly in the air. He believes that his wings would not support him, despite his younger siblings flying fearlessly with much shorter wings. He could not gather the courage to do the same. He was punished to stay hungry if he did not try. Thus, it was his mother that compelled him to fly by using food as a trap. The lesson reflects how one hesitates to take the first step and that fear is all in the mind. One should trust one's ability because the fear of suffering is worse than the suffering itself. Now we'll just know a bit about the author. His First Flight by Liam O'Flaherty tells about the need of courage and self-confidence to overcome fears in life. He was born in 20th August 1896 in Inishmore, Ireland. He died on 7th September 1984 in Dublin, in Ireland. The spouse, the movies which he had written for is The Informer, The Uptight, The Puritan, The Last Desire, The Jacqueline. This much I could arrange for you as the resource for the author. Now we'll come to the objective. This is very important. Why are we teaching this chapter? His first flight story excellently explains the importance of things like independence, self-courage, and confidence. Also, it shows the need for motivation to reach our goals. Necessity is the mother of invention, but it sometimes needs an initial spark from outside. At times, it comes from our inner soul, but at times, the inspiration is some external source also. Now, what is the message? As I always tell, that each and every chapter is having a message, and these messages are very important as it gives a shape to your life. His first flight is a parable. The seagulls convey the message of confidence, motivation, and self-reliance. The mother seagull motivates the young one enough to get him to learn flying. The baby seagull realizes the importance of belief and faith. Now children, question often it comes that justify the title. So the title of the story, His First Flight, talks about the two instances of flying for the first time. The story has another part also. In the next class, I'll be teaching that. The black aeroplane, that is a different chapter. I'll teach you in the next chapter. The black aeroplane. The story is about the process of learning to fly the young seagull. In this chapter, we will be learning about the flight, the first flight of a young seagull. The anxiety and the fear which the young seagull faced while learning to fly is discussed in this story. The parents of the young seagull helped him to learn the technique of believing in himself. This is what I am trying to make you understand from the beginning of my class, that you have to first believe in yourself and open his wings to fly. In order to teach him, they turned harsh at him. But when he learns to fly, they celebrated his first flight. Now the same thing happens with you children also. Your parents, your teachers, at times they are harsh to you people, just to motivate you, just to bring out what is the good thing in you. They want to teach you something good. They are not harsh as because they don't love you, but they love you. That is why they are harsh, to teach you something. Alright? So never to misunderstand your teachers or your parents. Now in this chapter I'll be doing the paragraph explanations. The PDF I'll be sharing. You can go through the paragraphs from the PDF and the explanations. I'm doing it here. The story is about a young seagull who is at the stage of life where he has to learn to fly. Unlike his younger brothers and sisters, he is too afraid to fly. When all of them went for flying for the first time near the edge of the sea, all of them except him succeeded because he didn't have faith in himself. He could not trust his wings. He got terrified by the vast sea and got convinced that he could never fly. As a result, he was ashamed and disheartened and thus went inside the ledge where usually he slept. Now the new words which you would find is in this stanza are the seagull. What's a seagull, children? A bird that lives near the sea and has short legs, long wings and white and grey feathers. Ledge, a narrow horizontal shelf projecting from a wall or a cliff. What's a brink? The extreme edge of the land before a steep slope or a body of water. Expanse, a wide continuous area of something. Now children, are you learning the new words? Please keep on learning the new words and try to use them. Learn the meanings also. As the school reopens, I would take random tests on the new words and the meanings. Alright? So we come to the second paragraph. Again, you will go through the PDF, read the paragraph, then you will pause my video to go through the explanation. His younger siblings managed to take their first flight despite their wings being shorter than his. So, they were able to take the risk in their life. But he could not summon the courage, though he tried so desperately. He was scolded by his parents for not trying again, but he was so afraid that he could not even move. Alright, in very easy, simple language, I have explained the paragraphs. I think you would understand it, children. Now, again for the new words. Flapped, move its wing up and down when flying or preparing to fly. Now, master means gather. Master your strength, gather your strength. Okay. Plunge, jump or dive. There is another word, delve, D-E-L-V-E. The same meaning. Surely, with a high pitched and piercing voice or sound. Upbraiding, scold. You can use these words in your daily usages. Now we come to the third paragraph. Again, you will continue the same process. He had been alone for a day after he tried because his parents were busy focusing on his siblings. Now, children, can you relate your parents with this parents of the seagull? Yes, our parents also take different measures, isn't it? To force you to go to do the work which they demand. They helped his siblings master the art of flying and diving for food. And what do the seagulls? What is their food? Fish. His older siblings were caught his first fish, which he proudly ate at a rock while his parents celebrated it. Okay, but the parents or the other seagulls, they were not sharing the food with this seagull. Yes, that morning his parents taunted him all the way for being a coward. Alright. The herring, a soft finned sea fish, devour, eat quickly, cackle, laugh in a loud, harsh way, cowardice, lack of bravery. Now the fourth paragraph. The sun had now risen and he was feeling the heat more than ever, because he was empty stomach, because nobody had shared their food with this coward one. Since the night before, he stepped out of his ledge and pretended to sleep on one leg to gain the attention of his family. Can you see the picture? We also take up so many things like this, isn't it? To draw the attention of our parents when we do something wrong. We understand that parents are not happy with us. We do so many things to attract the attention of our parents. Still, no one noticed him. His siblings were sleeping. His father was cleaning his feathers with his beak, and his mother was standing on another plateau eating fish while she noticed him. Very tough mother, like me. But your mothers are very kind. They love you too much. But this mother is just tough like me. The seagull got mad on seeing the fish because he was hungry, very hungry. He loved to tear away fish and scrape his beak now and then. So the new words in this paragraphs are ascending the sky, the act of rising up through the air. Now preening, to tidy and clean its feathers. Hump, a rounded raised mass of earth or land. Scrapped means discard. The fifth paragraph. Now children, are you seeing the beautiful pictures in each page? I've tried to manage it to make it a bit attractive. I think you're enjoying the story. You're not getting bored. You will follow the same process. You will just go through the PDF and then the explanation. He cried in hunger to his mom while his mother screamed back angrily. As your mothers also snap. No, you are having kind, loving mothers. Mothers like me snap, isn't it? Angrily. But he kept crying, which soon turned into a joyful scream at the sight of his mother flying towards him with the piece of fish. He got excited as she came nearer and thus leaned forward. Suddenly she stopped not too far from him. Out of excitement and hunger, he dived at the fish without realizing for a moment and that he was afraid to fly. Now, children who learn to cycle for the first time or to drive a scooty or a car for the first time, you can realize that moment, isn't it? Moment of that seagull. The words here are diversely, in a manner expressing contempt or ridicule. Plaintively, sad. Uttered, make a sound with one's voice. Halted, stopped. Children, please learn the new words and the meanings. Please do it and use it. Now the sixth paragraph. He got so excited that he fell as soon as he tried. So, as he tried to fly, he fell downwards. Alright. For a moment, he was in a shock and stood still out of terror. We also do this when we start driving or start cycling for the first time, isn't it? When we feel that nobody is holding a cycle or our whatever scooty back, we also feel this terror because I can realize it. This terror, I have also experienced it. All this lasted only for a moment and soon his feathers opened up and he flied. He could feel the wind against him, his breast feathers, stomach and his wings. He could feel himself cutting through the air. He was not afraid anymore. So he took the risk and then he's enjoying his life. He was first a bit nervous, but then his mother accompanied him. The whole family screamed out of excitement. Thus, celebrating his victory over fear. Alright? Now, monstrous means horrible, seized, grab, headlong, with the head foremost, soaring, flying or rising high in the air. Swooped, especially a bird does, move rapidly downwards through the air, curveting, perform a series of jumps on the hind legs. Once he overcome, now we come to the 7th paragraph. Once he overcame his fear, he forgot that he was once afraid of it. So when you cross the limit of your restrictions, the fears, you would forget that once how you hesitated to take a risk in life. You will forget it and you'll enjoy diving in the world to attain your success. He did all those things he once feared. Who is this? The seagull. He flied straight over the sea and could see the greenery and the mountains beneath him. He screamed out of joy as he enjoyed the victory. The new words are shrieking, make a high-pitched piercing cry or sound. Surely, loudly and forcefully. Ridges, a long narrow hilltop, mountain range or watershed. Cawed, utter a caw, the call of a bird. Right. Now the 8th paragraph. When he landed, his family landed along with him. Now, did you see, children? His family was with him from the starting. Even if they were harsh, they were for him. And when he attended the success, then also the family is with him enjoying his success. So never to misunderstand your family when they are harsh with you. They are harsh because they love you. They want you to get the best. When he landed, his family landed along with him as a gesture that they were proud. They were screaming and shouting in excitement in their high-pitched voices. He then went into the sea, where at first he got scared and thus panicked. Panic means nervous. Alright. He tried escaping but got tired and weak because of hunger. Children, I think you're understanding the words. I have used very simple words to make you understand. Thus, when he calmed down, he started floating in the sea he was once afraid of. You remember? First, he was afraid to see the vast sea. Now he is not afraid, he is enjoying. His family was celebrating in excitement and offered him food as praise. Finally, he had overcome his fear and made his first flight. So the new word from this paragraph is beckoning, means gesture. Now it's time to sum up. I think I have used all simple words and have made it simple, and I've tried to make this chapter very near to your life so that you can learn something, children. Never to get annoyed with your parents or your teachers if they are harsh to you to make you understand something or to force you to learn something. Everything which we do is for your benefit. You are the most precious gift. We love you so much. That is why we are harsh. We love you so much, children. So I tried to just narrate this story and bring a very close comparison with your lives. Now let us sum up the chapter. His First Flight by Lam O. Fanhadre talks about the need of being brave and self-confident in life. Yes, I have been teaching this. A young seagull is hungry, watching his family eating, who have left him alone with any food. Everyone in his family could fly, but he could not because he lacked confidence in taking his first flight. The young seagull was afraid to fly because he thought his wings wouldn't support him. No, all birds aren't afraid to make their first flight. In the story, the young seagull's little sister wasn't afraid of flying. We can say that some birds are more timid than others. The young seagull's parents do not give him food because they want to motivate him to get or reach the food by his own efforts, which is of course impossible without taking a flight. By keeping him starved, they compelled him to fly and search the food for himself. So, with this, we end the chapter. I will be sharing the extra questions today only in a PDF form in your literature notebook with a good cover page, name of the chapter, and as I always ask you to write the moral or the message, and then you will do the NCERT exercises. You will be solving the exercises in your literature notebooks, that is your A notebook, and then you will write only the questions of the extra questions PDF which I am giving, because that will be it will be helping you to develop a question bank. Thank you. Hope you have learned. Have faith in yourself. Try to take risks in your life to reach your success. Love your parents. Love your teachers. They are harsh because they love you. They want to teach you something. Jai Hind.